The best is yet to come. This is kind of the mantra of the abundance mindset. I was having a conversation a few weeks back, and that exact topic came up. And I've seen a lot of articles lately on the abundance mindset. I think the reason for that is because we're in a time where more and more we're having to opt on the side of positivity and reinforcing that positivity, as we wade through uncertainty, ambiguity, and other factors and forces that are happening in life and in career. A lot of changes have transpired over the last year plus. Change is constant. And it's critical as we lead through our career and our life that we have that abundance mindset. I did a lot more digging into the abundance mindset after that conversation, and also with some of the articles that I've seen lately. And here's some of my thoughts on how I've applied it. The mindset that there's always more, that there's so many opportunities to achieve, to connect meaningfully. There's no barriers right now. There's no geographical barrier. People are being hired for roles that don't have to have a geographical location. They can support virtually in a lot of instances. And even as we go forward, there will be much more hybrid work. So the ability to serve in a role that could be done anywhere in the world, conceivably, is very empowering. And so that ability to apply the abundance mindset to realize that your barriers are gone in that regard. So if you're looking for work, you're looking for a change, you're looking to expand even your own horizons, just the ability to connect with people globally, the ability to enhance your network with that global lens or that expanded lens, that is very empowering. At some point or another, we've probably all looked for work, and it's very often where we have to look at very specified items. What do we qualify for and where are we willing to work? And if you're not able to move, sometimes that can fit into a very small bubble. So the realization that there's no barrier to where you can network, where you can create meaningful relationships, where you can work, where you can go, who you can talk to. The other thing too, the conversation that I was having a few weeks back was with a longtime friend of mine, Justin Essner. And the way that he broached this was really around, that how hard we fight sometimes to keep what we believe is ours or that we're entitled to. And the reality is, like, for instance, in the sales game, territories and the amount of ownership and pride that we feel for a territory. The organizations that we work for, we enter into an agreement with them. I mean, they offer to provide an agreed upon compensation, training, benefits, etc. We agree to be the person that we said we'd be on interview day, right? But nothing is guaranteed in the way of, the scope of work. Often the accounts that you manage, as an example. I can tell you, I've had many accounts change hands over the last several years that I've been in the sales game, where I've covered an account or worked with a certain team, and it changes frequently, always due to needs of the business. And the key thing is the realization of two things. One, these accounts, you don't own them. You don't own this scope of work. If it changes, then your organization is paying you to do a different role. And so you have to pivot, you have to shift. But you also have to be open to collaborate. And what I mean by that is that ability and willingness to share best practices, to proactively look for ways that you can add more value in the organization. Because I can tell you that if you sit on your best practices, if you refuse to share or just choose not to, first off, you're missing out. But second, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities to add value and make meaningful connections within your organization. Plus, it cuts off your ability to learn. Half of the learning and the ability to learn is the outreach that you do to create a dialogue where you can ideally trade, share best practices, collaborate, learn from each other. Hopefully you can add value for them and they add value for you. When I was an individual contributor years ago, and I was having success, it would be one thing if I sat there and wouldn't talk about what I was doing to perform in certain metrics. But I found a lot of value in sharing with people that were performing in metrics that I wanted to improve in, sharing what I was doing in the metrics that I was succeeding in. And then you can assimilate that into your talk track, make that part of your regimen, and improve yourself by taking on the best practices of others and working to improve yourself in that area. The other piece too, trust but verify. Famous quote. Default to trust. The key thing is it's, I think many people in the business environment or in life have had situations where trust has been eroded or destroyed. But you can't go into every dynamic or every situation paranoid that the history will repeat itself in this situation. There are ways to put up, some guardrails for certain. But you certainly want to go in open to where conversations, where collaboration, and where working relationships can take you. They're going to be very rewarding if you do that the right way. From an abundance mindset perspective, as you apply that lens, continuing to look at how you can optimize your performance, how you can optimize relationships. I've always had a mantra that I will never allow a number to be next to my name that isn't indicative of me giving absolutely everything that I had. You're never competing against average or quota or what other people are doing. You're competing against your own potential. And you've got to make sure that you accept that and that you rise to that challenge. I've got to be the best me that I can be. And I extend that challenge to you. It's irrelevant to me what other performers are doing from a performance perspective, a results perspective. When it comes to my own performance, I've got to make sure that I do the best that I can possibly do. Be sure that you're thinking from a big picture perspective, that you're looking at all of the ways that you can impact people and process. Bring people into the boat with you. Proactively reach out to people and work to connect, have conversations. Again, we're in an amazing situation where we can connect with anybody we want and do so very quickly even in a virtual setting. And it's important that we leverage the tools at our disposal, but that we look to optimize them and consistently execute with them over time. Abundance mindset is that understanding and realization that there's so much out there, that there's other ways that we can break down barriers. You're not on a straight path to wherever you think you're going or to wherever you want to go. Sometimes you're going to have to scale the wall. You can't go around it, but find a way to scale it or break through those barriers. And that's what abundance mindset is all about. Abundance mindset will build confidence in your ability to control the controllables. And that's often all we have, is that ability to control what you can control. Make sure you look back on a meeting, a day, a week, a month, a year without regrets, and give your best self. And then truly, the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching.